Well, all new at noon, cell phone data from Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade's phone appears to show he visited the neighborhood where Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis lived at least 35 times in 2021. And this information appears to contradict testimony Wade gave in court last week. He said he visited Willis's condo no more than 10 times before she hired him on as special prosecutor in the election interference case in November of 2021. But cell phone data appears to show his phone connecting to nearby towers roughly 36 times between January and November of that year. The data is included in a filing from former President Donald Trump's attorneys. They want Willis and Wade to be disqualified over accusations that they enriched themselves through their work on this case. The data could prove a relationship began earlier than previously admitted in court.
When did you start dating?
When I started dating Mr. Wade, it was right around then.
April 2022?
22.
So we also learned that the judge has set a March 1st hearing over motions to disqualify D.A. Willis from this case, and it comes as Wade tries to block private testimony from his former attorney that could be critical in this case. Defense attorneys believe Terrence Bradley can confirm when this relationship began, but Wade is asking the judge to cancel further questions to uphold attorney-client privilege. We are also learning about 2 ethics complaints that are now filed against D.A. Willis. The Fulton County Board of Ethics will hear those complaints during a specially scheduled meeting that is set for March 7th.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I gotta tell you guys, this story involving Miss Fani Cash Only Willis and Mr. Nathan Hot Dog Wade only gets better and better and better and better and better. In fact, I believe that Mr. Tyler Perry, who apparently lives in Atlanta, okay, he's an Atlanta native, he should have his plot for the remake of a classic story, The Diary of a Mad Black Woman, right? Featuring Fani Willis, okay? Fani Cash Only Willis. Okay? I'm just saying, that's how good this story is, okay? We need a movie made about this, okay? Because we now have bombshell cell phone data revealing that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade lied under oath to the court about the start of their relationship. Now, during a testimony at the evidentiary hearing regarding their relationship and whether or not there's a conflict of interest, we learned from Miss Fani Willis's former friend that their relationship began back in 2019. Now, Miss Fani Pack Willis and Nathan Hot Dog Wade said, no. Our relationship actually began more like in 2022 after Nathan Wade was already hired to be a special prosecutor on the Trump RICO case. However, again, the evidence suggests that they're lying, okay? And we now have actual real proof and evidence that they're lying outside of just witness testimony, okay? As cell phone data shows what appears to be late night trysts or booty calls, or I would call them Fani calls, right? That were happening between Nathan Wade and Fani Willis, in which Nathan Wade would show up to Fani Willis's home, presumably to, right? That is what he showed up for, okay? I mean, come on, let's use our common sense, okay? We know that's probably what was happening. So we got to talk about this as Mr. Nathan Wade is panicking and he's trying to stop more witness testimony that could show that, hey, he in fact was in a relationship with Miss Fani Willis before the timeline that they told the court under oath.
Just into our newsroom, a new twist in the ongoing court battle over whether Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade will be disqualified from their case against former President Donald Trump and several others accused of interfering with Georgia's 2020 election.
So today, Nathan Wade, he actually submitted a new court filing asking the judge to counsel what could be a pivotal private court proceeding. Investigative reporter Zach Merchant has been following this case from the very beginning. So, Zach, what does all of this mean?
Well, guys, it's important to not get lost in the legal jargon. At its core, this filing gets to an essential part of the defense team's argument as that team seeks answers from a witness they consider key to their efforts to remove both DA Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade from the case. That witness, Terrence Bradley, Wade's former law partner and one-time divorce lawyer. At last week's hearing, defense attorneys spent hours trying to get Bradley to answer when Willis and Wade began their romantic relationship. The defense attorneys are alleging it started before Willis named Wade as a special prosecutor in the case, and that role for him allowed both of them to financially benefit from the case. But Bradley testified he couldn't say anything because, in his view, any information he may have was protected by attorney-client privilege. Fulton County Judge Scott McAfee looked ready to accept that argument until just before the end of Friday's hearing, when Bradley gave an answer that seemed to reopen the issue.
Now I'm left wondering if Mr. Bradley has been properly interpreting privilege this entire time.
The judge asked Bradley and his attorney to join him for a private, off-the-record proceeding to determine whether Bradley really was covered by attorney-client privilege last Friday, but apparently that did not happen. And now, in today's court filing, Wade is asking Judge McAfee to cancel it altogether and uphold the attorney-client privilege shield. Here's why this matters. The stakes are substantial. If the judge does have that meeting and decides Bradley was not claiming privilege properly, defense attorneys could get another chance to question him under oath about the origins of Willis and Wade's relationship.
Yeah, so this guy clearly and obviously knows that the origin of Mr. Nathan Wade's and Fani Willis's relationship is before the timeline that they gave to the court. But the prosecution is trying to intimidate him, okay? They're threatening to take away his licenses. They're essentially trying to expose him as some type of, I don't know, predator or something like that. I mean, that's clearly and obviously what's going on here, okay? They are trying to intimidate this guy into keeping his mouth shut, because if he talks, then clearly and obviously, you know, Miss Fani Willis and Nathan Wade will once again be exposed as liars in regards to the timeline of the relationship. But again, anybody with common sense that's paying attention to this knows that they're lying, okay? And they're just trying to get out of it any way that they can. They are obviously and clearly corrupt. But with that being said, let's actually read about what's going on here with this bombshell cell phone data, because I think that this is all the proof and evidence that we need to show that, yes, these two are lying their asses off. So without further ado, let's get into it. Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade visited Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis at her condo at least 35 times prior to when they claimed their relationship began, according to an analysis of cell phone data compiled by an investigator working with former President Trump's legal team. The new document filed Friday raises questions about the veracity of Willis and Wade's testimony regarding the timeline of their relationship. So we're going to skip down here to get to some of the details of these bombshell phone records, okay? Because, again, once you look at some of the timelines that are laid out in these phone records, I mean, you already know what was happening, okay? I mean, again, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. Defense attorneys purport that the prosecutors began seeing each other romantically prior to Wade's November 1st, 2021, hiring as special counsel in the Trump case. Willis and Wade have both maintained that their relationship became romantic in early 2022 and ended in summer of 2023. Wade testified last week that he had been to the Hapville, Georgia condo where Willis was living, but no more than 10 times before he was hired. He said he never spent the night there, which Willis affirmed in her testimony. Again, so why are you there in the first place? I don't really understand. Why would you show up to her condo if you're not in a relationship with her? Okay, you can say that, oh, we were just friends, but I'm not sure exactly, you know, why a man and a woman would be hanging out at a condo together if they're not in a relationship, okay? I mean, we all know how women are that have a lot of guy friends that they like to hang out with alone in their condo. I'm telling you straight up, a man and a woman hanging out together in a home privately, they're definitely 99% of the time, right? It's impossible not to, okay? I'm just keeping it 100. Quote, so if phone records were to reflect that you were making phone calls from the same location as the condo before November 1st of 2021, and it was on multiple occasions, the phone records would be wrong. Trump attorney Steve Sadow asked Wade last week. Quote, if phone records reflected that, yes, sir, they'd be wrong, Wade said. Yeah, so Wade is basically saying that if phone records show that I'm lying, then the phone records are lying, right? The phone records are wrong, okay? The data is wrong. The facts are not facts, okay, according to Mr. Nathan Wade, okay? We must believe his testimony, not the actual data. On Friday, Trump's team filed with the court the report from its investigator who said he used a tool called cellphone to analyze Wade's cell phone data for the first 11 months of 2021. Most of that window is before Wade's contract to work for the district attorney's office began, and it is entirely before when prosecutors claim their romance began. Quote, this conservative analysis using the above reference modality revealed a minimum of 35 occasions when Mr. Wade's phone connected for an extended period to either one of those towers in closest proximity to the Dogwood address based upon associated data use, voice calls, or text messages. The data reveals he was stationary and not in transit, wrote the investigator. Okay, so basically, the data reveals that Mr. Wade was lying, that it wasn't 10 times where he visited her. It was actually more than 3 times that, right? It was a minimum, at minimum, 35 occasions, okay, in which he pulled up, okay? And he wasn't just passing through the neighborhood, okay? He was stationary. He was there for an extended amount of time. The Hill has reached out to Willis's office for comment. The investigator, who said he has been specializing in criminal cases for 25 years, wrote that he reviewed Wade's call, text, and location data received through a records request made to AT&T. The analysis claims Wade and Willis spoke on the phone more than 2,000 times and exchanged just under 12,000 text messages during the 11-month period. Yeah, so again, that to me sounds like a relationship, right? Who do you talk to more than 2,000 times? And you exchange 12,000 text messages with that you're not in a relationship with? Come on, bruh. Right? Come on. It's in your face. It's obvious. It's obvious. The gaslighting here is incredible. Right? Wow. The investigator highlighted 2 nights in particular. In September 2021, he said the data shows Wade arrived around Willis's condo one night at 10:45 p.m. and remained there until almost 3:30 a.m. About a half hour later, Wade arrived at his home and sent a text to Willis minutes afterwards, the investigator claimed. Yeah, so common sense, right? What does common sense tell us, okay? 10:45 p.m. Sounds like a booty call to me, okay, or a fanny call, okay? Mr. Wade pulled up. He, at some point, right, between 10:45 and 3:30 a.m., once he got done, once he had that post clarity, right, he decided to go home. And once he got home, he sent that good night text, hey, I arrived home safely, to Miss Willis after he got home. Again, obvious. Okay, this is standard stuff, bruh. This is what people do when they're in a romantic relationship. And the text messages, the proof, the data is showing this. Weeks after Wade began working for Willis, the investigator said the district attorney called Wade at around 11:30 p.m. According to the analysis, as the call continued, Wade left his home and arrived in the area of Willis's residence. He allegedly remained there until 4:55 a.m. Yeah, so apparently, again, Mr. Wade was lying about not spending the night there. Okay, if you arrive at 11:30 p.m. and you stay there till almost 5 in the morning, yeah, you spent the night. Okay, you spent the night there. When pressed last week on his time spent in the area, Wade testified that he could have been at nearby locations and not miss Willis's condo, such as the airport, restaurants, or Porsche Experience Center, a driver development track. Yeah, so this guy he went to the airport at 11:30 p.m. and he stayed there until almost 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm not sure what reason would you go to the airport at 11:30 at night and then leave at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm not sure exactly why you do that. Now, who knows? Maybe going to a restaurant is believable if he means strip club, right? Because a strip club is the only place I can think of that would justify showing up at 11:30 p.m. and then leaving at 5 a.m. in the morning. Maybe that's what he was doing. That's what I would have said. No. There was a nice strip club in that area that Fani Willis likes to visit as well, too. We both like going to the strip club together. And that's what we was doing, right? That's what I would have said, okay? I would have said I like going to the strip club, and that's what we were doing, right? I wasn't at her condo or anything like that. That would be more believable than saying that you were going to an airport or you were going to restaurants or the Porsche Experience Center, right? This is what this guy is saying. The gaslighting here is incredible. But again, he's just lying, right? He's just lying. Both Willis and Wade testified on the oath that their relationship began in 2022. if Judge Scott McAfee determines based on the cell phone data or other evidence that they lied, it could constitute perjury and endanger their roles in the historic prosecution. So now, Trump's lawyer told the court that the investigator is available to testify at the court's convenience. Yeah, so hopefully this guy spills the beans, right? Hopefully it does. McAfee previously said that Willis and Wade's alleged actions could result in their disqualification if evidence shows an actual conflict of interest or the appearance of one. I mean, come on. Come on. We have all the evidence and proof that we need that clearly and obviously there's a conflict of interest. The relationship began way before they claimed that it began. We have text messages. We have cell phone data. We have a witness testimony. We got another guy as well, too, who they're currently trying to intimidate in order to get him not to talk. But we don't need him to talk at this point, right? We don't need him to talk. This guy sounds like he might lose his life. He sounds scared. We don't need him to talk because we got everything, okay? The facts and the data speak for themselves, okay? That these people definitely were in a relationship. They lied to the court. And not only should they be disqualified, but Fani Willis should be thrown in jail, right? That's exactly what should happen here. She should be in a jumpsuit with her mug shot because disqualification is not enough. Disqualification is not enough for this woman, especially considering how, she's weaponizing the system to go after her political opponents. And also, again, allegedly benefiting from it by paying off her lover exorbitant amounts of taxpayer dollars that she's benefiting from in the form of fancy trips and things like that. So, with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if she's disqualified, but I also wouldn't be surprised if she finds a way to not be disqualified or even if she steps down, right? As, the evidence continues to pile up, she could decide that, in order to save the case, I'm going to step down, even though I don't think that she will, because I think that her ego is not going to let her do that. That would be the best thing for her to do if she wants to save the case. But again, her ego is so big that she's going to try to stick it all the way through. Maybe. We'll see. But we'll have to just wait until the next hearing and see what the judge rules. But it's really not looking good for Miss Fani Cash Only Willis and Mr. Nathan Hot Dog Wade. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.